special edition of Nightline. Mystery Diagnosis, Children Under Attack, continues. Here now, Juju Chang. Please welcome Academy Award nominee, Amy Adams.
That, of course, the very recognizable voice of Randy Thomas. He's been the voice of Nightline, Ted Koppel, since day one. Voice of the Tony Awards, the Academy Awards, and now also speaking on behalf of the Empire Outlets, Joe Ferrara's group out on Staten Island, doing a terrific job with that. And she's live in studio, legendary. Was even here many years ago, not in this building, but as a WPLJ host. We're going to get to all that. But before we do all that, Randy, we got to start with, I got to know you. You reached out to me on Facebook. And it really all starts, has nothing to do with you or any of these great things you've done during your career. The real star here is your husband. He loves me. He loves Bernie. He was an Imus fan. He's in Brooklyn somewhere.
No, we live in Los Angeles. He wakes up at like 4
Oh, I thought he
a.m.
was here.
No,
Is that right? I thought you guys traveled back and forth.
I'm going on 36 years of marriage. I leave him in Los Angeles because we have a Great Dane that needs taken care of.
Okay.
But he's one of those guys, he doesn't sleep a lot, so he wakes up super early, and he's huge fans. And every morning I wake up and I get the update.
That's unreal.
On what's going on.
But he's from Brooklyn originally. Is that what it is? He's originally a Brooklyn guy?
Yes, he's
okay.
John, and his last, John who? What's his last name?
Oh, Joe Ferrara?
No, your husband.
My husband, Arnie Wall.
That's right, Arnie Wall.
Yeah,
so Arnie gets up very early every morning in California and puts us on.
Fan,
that's fantastic.
So you've got listeners all over the country.
All over the world.
You're not just all over the world. You're not just New York.
Oh, no, huge. All right, so let's get to why you're here. The Tony Awards is coming up on Sunday.
Correct.
And you're working with Joe Ferrara and his group, which built these beautiful outlets on Staten Island last spring. Got a new ferry coming in December. And it's going to be it really is the destination for any New Yorker that wants to do outlet shopping, which I happen to love. I love that.
Right.
And you're going to be giving away tickets. This is unbelievable for some of the biggest shows on Broadway leading up to Sunday's Tony Awards. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I have been working with the folks from Empire Outlets, Joe Ferrara, and BFC Partners, which is the group that built this incredible mall. And I'm so looking forward to walking the space this Saturday, where they bought tickets for the Prom. I mean, these are all Tony-nominated shows. So the Prom, Hadestown, and the Revival of Oklahoma, which,
is doing great.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And so I will be going out there. I'm bringing along this 15-year-old guitarist who is incredible. His name is Jason Recht. He plays with this guy in New Jersey, Lou Palo, and he's incredible. So we're going to do a little Name That Tune for these Broadway show tickets at the Empire Outlets. And, as a kid growing up here in New York, I've been gone a long time, but we'd get on that Staten Island ferry. You'd take your pictures going past the Statue of Liberty, land at Staten Island, get on the next ferry going back. Now that's changed. We've got some serious outlet shopping we can do.
Right,
hang on. It also includes tickets to Staten Island Yankee games as well, right?
We're giving away Yankee game tickets, some gift certificates for the mall itself. So if you haven't had a chance to walk that space, I think you'll find, because everything there is facing Manhattan. So the restaurants, everything, the backdrop is Manhattan.
You mentioned the Tony Awards.
Yes, my 21st year.
21st year.
Wow.
So last week I went to our colleagues, Joan Hamburg. She does an event every year.
She's iconic.
She is iconic. So my son, for example, his middle name is Atticus. My wife loves To Kill a Mockingbird. So I went and saw Jeff Daniels on Broadway. And I met him last week. He had no interest in meeting me. But anyway, he was there. The stars of Tootsie. You had King Lear, Glenda Jackson. You had our friend from Curb Your Enthusiasm, Susie Essman.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable day. Yeah. And if you're a fan of Broadway, which I am, by the way, and certainly Joan is.
I did not know that, actually.
Oh, yeah. I've been going since I'm a little kid. My parents would take us to the Barclay for brunch almost 2 Sundays a month, and we'd go down and get half-price tickets at Duffy Square.
Of course.
And I've been to about 1,000 Broadway shows.
Yeah.
This luncheon last week was great, right up your alley.
Yeah. Well, I don't get to attend those, but I am in rehearsal as of today for the Tony Awards.
Wow.
going to be very exciting. James Corden is hosting, and the guests that we're going to have this year are phenomenal. And it's going to be a thrilling show. It's my 21st consecutive year, which is really incredible because when you do the work that I do, like I've done the Oscars, but I've done them 10 times in 25 years.
Right.
So, that's a lot, and I'm very grateful. But to have a show continue to ask you back every year for 21 years is...
It doesn't get any better than that.
I
That's
know.
high praise. And yes, Randy Thomas, also you're the original female voice of Nightline. I mean...
the first woman, yes.
The first,
I've
right.
been doing that for about 18 months now.
Oh, 18 months. Okay. And how did you get into the business in the beginning?
I was a disc jockey on the radio.
Right, so that was it.
WPLJ was my second job in radio, and I only lasted a summer. I was still a teenager. And when I left New York, Carol Miller took over the 6 to 10 at night shift. So that's how I started. I had a 20-year radio career. When I was working on The Wave in Los Angeles, I auditioned because they were looking for the first woman in history to announce the Oscars. I booked that job. And then because Live Announce is such a small club of men that had previously done it, by breaking down that barrier and being the first woman, all the shows wanted to use me because I was that one vetted woman.
Bad.
But now, I've crashed the ceiling, and there's so many women
now
that
it's
do
annoying.
live.
Now it's too many women.
Yeah, really.
Calm down. Jeez, enough. They got women in baseball boots. I mean, come on. But on a serious note, the PLJ thing was a big thing for you.
Yeah,
And
I listened last week.
you did?
Yeah.
Friday,
Sure.
you heard Race Taylor say goodbye?
I did. Hey, Race, I know he's listening this morning.
Did you
And
cry?
Jim Kerr. It was touching,
Yeah.
Because, well, to me, the most haunting moment is when they say goodbye and there's silence.
Yeah.
The silence in radio, as we all know, it's
It's
deafening.
definitely. It's actually very good.
Ooh, way to go, Sid.
Brandon.
And
Unrehearsed. That was unrehearsed.
so we're simpatico.
Yeah.
So, so I felt it. And having been a part of that legendary station many, many years ago, I felt this connection with everyone, even though,
Well, when you were there,
I
was
wasn't here.
Allison Steele, you said.
Well,
Carol
I listened
Miller?
to Allison Steele on WNEW. Carol Miller, I hadn't heard of her yet. She was still in Philadelphia. She took my shift. But it was Jim Kerr in the morning, Tony Pig,
Wow.
Pat St. John, me, Zachary, and
I remember
overnight
Zachary.
was the talk show guy.
Overnight. Tom Snyder, what?
No, before Tom.
Before Tom.
It was
Joe Franklin?
Jack Parr?
Alex Bennett.
Alex
okay,
Bennett.
all right.
Alex Bennett did overnight. Like
Right.
John Lennon would stop by there in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's some history there. You also, speaking of history, the Warriors played the Toronto Raptors tonight.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think Warriors all the way, sadly. But you have a relative who brought basketball to Canada.
Isn't that incredible? Yeah.
Right.
So
And
before
Toronto
the
in
Toronto
particular.
Raptors, they were the Toronto Huskies, and my uncle Ben Newman brought NBA basketball to Canada, to Toronto. And who knew? I mean, this is so exciting
Wow.
that they're finally in a championship here.
Yeah.
What do you think? How about the injuries to the Warriors? You think this means Raptors?
Oh, no, it could
championship?
hurt. I mean, Klay Thompson's hurt.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant
Kevin
hasn't
Durant.
played yet. They just lost Kevin Looney, Golden State. So they're beat up. The problem is they're still better. I mean, the Raptors really needed to win that game, too.
Yeah.
To really put the hammer down on Golden State. But we'll see. It's
see.
been reduced to a
Tonight.
best of 5, and tonight's game 3. So
Great,
let's
yeah.
thank you. So let's get back to why you're here this week specifically, which is, again, working with the Empire Outlets on Staten Island, the ferry ready to go, and a speed ferry coming in December. And for people who want to come out and see you on Saturday and have a chance to win these great Broadway show tickets, how do they go about doing something like that?
Show up at Empire Outlets. There will be some sort of signage that will tell you where it's happening. My time is at 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, or 2-ish because I'm Jewish, as I like to say. And I'm going to be there. I've got this guitarist. There's going to be a DJ after me. They're really excited. They're so pumped that so many hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers are venturing across the Hudson
and all the
to check
biggest
this out.
stores, all the biggest outlets, they're all there, right? He's got them all.
H&M. I love H&M, by the way. I just
Hey,
went.
Bernie, ask Bernie what he bought me for my birthday last year.
I bought him a $200 gift certificate from H&M.
And you got like 42 things,
Well, I haven't
right?
gone yet, but yeah.
No, it's true. I just did the Environmental Media Awards in Los Angeles, and they're all about saving the planet. I didn't realize that H&M has this foundation. They are really committed to saving the planet in terms of resources and materials that they use. And so I'm excited to go out there and drop a few bucks at H&M at the outlets.
Listen, Randy Thomas, 2 o'clock on Saturday, the Empire Outlets, right at the St. George Ferry Terminal on Staten Island. Tickets to various plays, Staten Island Yankees.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
It's going to be great. Randy Thomas on the Bernie and Sid Show. We appreciate you coming in.
Really appreciate it. Love meeting you guys.
You
Big
too,
fan.
Randy. Big fan of yours, too.
Thank
the
you.
great Randy Thomas. Check her out on Staten Island at those beautiful Empire Outlets coming up on Saturday.